Argentine.
Okay. Singular.
Tu sei argentino? Sì, io sono argentino.
Yung Argentine ba, signore, masculine ba yun o feminine?
Argentina, sir.
Oo, masculine yan o feminine?
Feminine po.
Okay, so ang singular dapat feminine.
Singular is feminine.
Oo, feminine dapat.
Yes po. Ano yun? Tu sei Argentine? Sì, io sono argentine.
Plural ang Argentine, dapat singular. Feminine.
Argentina.
No. Sige, go.
Tu sei Argentine? Sì,
Argentina.
io sono
Argentina.
Argentina. Tu sei Argentina? Sì, io sono Argentina.
Now last, here it go. If i-masculine mo yon, singular.
Tu sei argentino? Sì, io sono argentino.
Yan, okay. Very good, very good. Number 6. O sige, Senyor Rina Valenzuela. Go. Yung ano ba yan? Greke. Yan, Greke. Go. Nawala si Senyorina Valenzuela? O baka nakamute lang? Wala.
Voi siete greche? Sì, noi siamo greche.
Singular?
Tu sei greca? Sì, io sono greca.
Okay, Signorina, come si scrive greca? How do you write? Come si scrive greca?
Si scrive
Spell mo lang.
G R E C H E.
Are you sure? Say sikura? Meron bang aka? Greca?
G R E C A.
Yan. Okay. O, i-masculine mo yan, Signorina.
Singular po, sir.
Opo. Masculine.
Tu sei greco? Sì, io sono greco.
Okay. Sige. Last, ay ano ba? Yung number 7. Dami. Signorina Sami?
7.
Sette.
Voice?
Okay, by the way, ang 7 sa Italiano, sette. Okay?
Yes.
Hindi, sette. Okay. Hindi siete. Go.
Voi siete torche? Voi siete torche? Sì, noi siamo torche. Singular po. Tu sei turca? Sì, io sono turca.
Masculine. I-masculine mo nga. I-masculine
Tu
mo.
sei turco? Sì, io sono turco.
Signorina, come si scrive turco?
Si scrive turco. T U R C O.
Yan. Okay, very good. Very good. Number 8. Sige. Sino dito? Signorina Jean.
Ako po, sir?
Opo.
Ay. Voi siete arabe. Si noi siamo arabe. Singular po, sir.
Sige.
Tu siete.
Tu sei araba.
Tu sei araba.
Si, io sono araba.
Sono araba.
Signorina, plural masculine mo nga. Plural masculine.
Voi siete arabi. Si, noi siamo arabi.
Yan. Okay. Very easy. So, congratulations. Tapos na ata? Okay, tapos na. Wala na problema. So, any questions so far? No questions? Clear as mud? Okay. Tu sono le 2:28. Yeah. Le 2:28. 2:28. Okay. So, let me present this presentation. Okay. Parang review na kasi na-discuss ko na dito sa exercises. Okay. So, malinaw po ba ang blue screen? È chiaro? Sì o no?
C.
Chiaro. Okay. Clear. Chiaro ay C-H-I-A-R-O. C-H-I-A-R-O. Chiaro. Clear. Okay. Ano ba ganyan? Okay. So, nouns uli. Gender and forms. Alam niyo na yung noun, hindi ba? Let's, ano na natin yan? Tampasan na natin ito. Okay, yung determiner dito ay articles, okay? Singular, plural, okay. We have more words to practice on. Sige nga, pakibasa nitong
Veltro.
basa nitong mga words na ito. Sino pwede?
Vestito. Letto. Padre. Giorno.
Sige, Signorina.
Gona. Porta. Madre. Mela. Messa. Signora.
Teka, tingnan ko yung Q. Hindi ko makita yung Q eh. Signorina Malco. Go. Malco.
Cappello, vestito, letto, padre, veltro, libro, giorno.
Okay.
Ito po sir sa right side.
Sì, certamente, signorina. Certainly.
Casa, gona, porta, madre,
Madre.
mela,
Messa.
messa,
Signora.
signora,
Pakiulit yung sa itas ng gonna.
Casa.
casa,
Single S between two vowels. Anong sound ng single S between two vowels? Kumpara sa double S between two
Casa.
vowels. Yung double S kasi tulad nitong diba? Ito, teka.
Casa.
Sige lang, ha? O, ito. Si double S between two vowels ay mesa. Pero kapag single S,
Casa.
ano ngayon? Paano ngayon pag single S between two vowels?
casa,
Casa. Yan. Pakiulit. Di nuovo.
casa.
Casa. Okay. So, Signorina, anything you notice about the groupings ng words?
Ano po siya sir?
Anong pagkakaiba ng mga group of words dito sa kabila? In general na pagkakaiba. Ever notice something
Cappello. Casa. Mela. Messa. Signora.
Yung kabila po sir,
Vestito.
masculine, tapos po yung sa right side, mga feminine word po.
Okay. So, pero bakit yung madre ay hindi naman letter A yung ending pero feminine? Ganun din yung padre, hindi naman letter O pero masculine. Why do you think? Why do you think madre ay feminine tapos padre is masculine? Pero hindi siya letter O yung ending. Any wild guess? Di ba
Ano
yung
po siya sir? Common name.
Of course, common. Pero hindi ba ang general rule natin kapag letter O ay masculine yung letter O yung ending masculine, kapag letter A yung ending feminine. Pero yung letter A pala yung ending, pwede ring masculine, pwede ring feminine. Tama?
Yes, sir.
Opo. Because by the meaning, di ba? By the meaning. So we determine the gender of the noun primarily by the ending sa Italiano, na kung letter O ay masculine, kung letter A ay feminine. Sa parang construction of the verb, di ba? Pero by the meaning also itself, we can identify the gender of the word. Obviously, wala namang feminine na padre or masculine na madre, ba? So, by the meaning, talagang madre ay feminine, padre ay masculine. Unless siguro, effeminate na padre, pwede yon. Or ano yung opposite ng effeminate na madre, pwede yon. Pero sa gender, talagang masculine siya, feminine. Okay? So yun, dalawang indicator so far ng gender, by the ending and by the meaning itself. Also like prete, P-R-E-T-E, di ba? P-R-E-T-E, prete. Priest, ending in letter E. So you cannot identify it by the ending itself kung masculine o feminine. Pero by the meaning itself, priest. Though sa ibang lugar, meron na ring female priest. Originally, prete is masculine. Okay? So, ganon. Okay, so yun. In-emphasize lang yung ending. Okay? Then, okay. Ito yung introduction ng definite articles. Okay. Definite. Okay. Actually, hindi na introduction. Dinagyan lang ng definite articles. Okay? So, kapag masculine, il, general rule. Sige nga, pakibasa po nitong mga ano na to. Nouns with articles. O, Senyor Fontelar?
Il capello, il vestito, il letto, il veltro, il libro, il giorno, il padre,
Pakiulit yung first word.
il capello,
Double L.
capello,
Yan. Il capello. Okay.
Capello.
Okay, may sagot pala si Signorina Noras. Tama. Obvious na po talaga kasi ang gender. Okay. Tama yun. Okay, next. So, capello ha. Okay, sa feminine naman.
La casa.
Sige, pakibasa. Sino pwede? Sige, Signorina Merchant.
La casa, la gonna, la porta, la mela, la mesa, la signora. Ay, wait lang po, di ko mabasa yung last. La madre.
Yan, la madre. Okay. So, yun. So, ano ang exception na titutukoy dito? Okay, yung unang exception, yun na yun, yung ending na E sa gender. Okay? Yan, gender. Exception sa gender. Oh, by the way, substantivo is noun. Okay? So, yun yung exception sa gender. May mga mga words ending E which are either feminine and also masculine. Okay? So, sige, pakibasa nitong mga first exception sa gender
Madre.
by virtue of its ending.
Signore.
Okay. O, sige.
Televisore.
Sino pwede?
Sacerdote. Madre.
O, sige, Signorina Sabila.
At
Lagyan mo na, Signorina Sabila, ng yung definite article. Singular ay masculine at saka feminine. Sige, go.
la padre.
Il tapos la.
Mm-mm.
Il. Il padre. Il signore. Il televisore. Il sacerdote. La madre. La attrice. La chiave. La
La
notte.
notte.
Okay, Signorina Sabila, yun. So aside from exception sa ending to determine the gender, dito sa definite article, meron tayong exception, hindi ba? Yun yung sabi lang. Okay, kasi ang general rule natin, kapag masculine, il, di ba? Il. Kapag feminine, la. So you were correct sa la notte, la chiave, la madre, tama. Pero dito sa attrice, meron tayong exception naman. Definite article yan ha, don't forget. Kapag vowel, yung umpisa ng noun, kung feminine, ang article dyan ay L apostrophe. Okay? Kapag vowel, L apostrophe. And that rule na L apostrophe kapag vowel ang umpisa ng noun does not only apply sa feminine, kundi pati rin sa masculine. Okay? So any word, any noun which would begin in a vowel, L apostrophe yung definite article singular. Okay? O, so sinyo rin nasabi la, paano mo i-apply yan dito sa attrice?
Latrice.
El attrice. Attrice.
You disregard the apostrophe sa pagbasa.
El attrice. El attrice.
Latrice.
Lagyan mo yung letter L dito, paano mo basahin yan?
Latrice.
Yan, latrice. Okay? Sa pagbasa, disregard nyo lang yung apostrophe. Pero kailangan sa pagsulat may apostrophe ha. Pero sa
Ay,
pagbasa,
sir, hindi naman yung word EL, kundi L lang.
L lang.
Okay.
Kasi yung
Thank
L,
you.
masculine yun na Spanish, singular, hindi ba? Yung L. Dito, dito ha, il. Okay. L apostrophe lang. Okay. Okay, ulitin ko ha. All nouns beginning in vowel, either masculine or feminine, L apostrophe. Okay? Tapos sa pagbigkas nyo, just disregard the apostrophe. Parang dinagdagan nyo lang yung attrice ng L, latrice. Okay? Latrice. So, ang tanong ngayon, ang susunod na tanong, so paano nyo na sir malalaman kung masculine or feminine yan? Vowel yung umpisa, tapos yung ending pa ay E, tapos hindi namin alam, masculine o feminine. No, ang last resort nyo yan, last resort, siyempre, you check the dictionary. Kasi nandun yan sa dictionary, F or M. Pero, since ang parang rule din dito natin sa Italiano, to establish the gender, know it by heart, okay? Know it by heart. So, kasi maraming exception eh. Maraming may mga words na ganyan ang nature niya. So, kapag attrice, feminine siya kasi lady actor ang attrice, di ba? Lady actor yung attrice. O, yung chiave, alam niyo na yung meaning, di ba? Doon sa mga picture last time.
Look.
Televisore, pinaliwanag yan. Sacerdote is very obvious. Sacerdote. Parang priest din, di ba? So, il sacerdote. Okay. So, yun ang dito. Next. Oh, ito naman. Another exception sa ending. Sige, pakibasa nga. Basa na. Ilagay ko na natin. Okay. Sige, pakibasa nitong BNC. Given na feminine na sila, di ba? Nakagroup na sila eh. Nakagroup ng masculine, nakagroup ng feminine. Lagyan nyo na direksyon ng article. Sige, lagyan na direksyon ng article. Pakibasa lang.
Il problema. Il sistema. Il programma. Il
So,
tema.
ang problema at saka sistema ay masculine. Okay. So, you just put the
Lahat.
definite article singular.
La moto. La foto.
Yan naman. Okay, signorin attendido.
Il problema.
Yeah.
Il sistema.
Sige, go.
La moto. La foto.
Nawala ka, senyorina. Pakiulit uli yung para lahat.
La radio. La moto. La foto.
Okay, yung sabi po.
Il problema. Il sistema. Il programma. Il tema.
Okay. So, what makes these words ending in MA masculine. Despite yung ending ay A. Di ba? Kontra naman siya sa general rule, di ba? Kontra. So, ang paliwanag naman dyan ng aking mga teacher, tapos pinaniwalaan ko na rin, at sana paniwalaan nyo na rin, is because these words have Greek origin. Okay? May Greek origin daw sila. Okay. So, I did not dare to research further. Yun ang sabi sa akin. Naniniwala, professor sila eh. So, ano ba? How can I question it? Okay, so yun. Il problema. Because these are Greek words or have Greek origin. Masculine. Okay? Ma. And, ito, radyo, moto at saka photo. Ending in letter O. Bakit nakagrupo siya sa feminile? Oh. These are truncated words. Anong ibig sabihin ng truncated? Example, if you remember, il frigo. Did you remember il frigo? Tapos yung mahaba niya, untruncated niya, il frigorifero. Diba? So yun, truncated word siya. O ang ending. Pero yung frigorifero is talagang masculine. Diba? Pero dito, in this case, i-connect lang natin truncated and not truncated. Okay. So dito, truncated sila. O anyone who would guess, ano yung untruncated form ng moto at saka yung photo? O, guess. Ano yung mahaba? O, sige, Senyor Navera.
Yung sa moto po, motorsiklo po. Motorsiklo.
Merong word na motorsiklo, Senyor?
Ay, motociklo po.
Double check.
M-O-T-O-C-I-C-L-O po.
Motociklo talaga? Walang iba? Masculine yun eh.
Double check po.
Masculine yun. Pero meron bang motociklo?
Yung sa Google Translate po, sir, motociklo po yung unang lumabas po.
Motorcycle yun. Pero hindi siya feminine, hindi ba? Feminine. Okay. O sige. Sige, noted yan. Pero hindi siya masculine. O Senyorina Bertumen.
Motocicleta po doon sa moto. Then,
Okay.
yung sa photo po, fotografiya.
Okay. So would that justify na kahit ending in O siya, sa truncated ay feminine talaga?
Yes
Ito.
po.
Yes. Okay. Okay. Motorcycle ata yung okay. Yeah, motociklo. Pwede rin actually moto. Pwede rin yun isa ring explanation yun. Pero itong moto, kung ang untruncated niya ay motocikleta, yun. So paano mo sa kaso ng motocikleta at saka motociklo, paano ma-identify? Merong precedent yan siyempre. Either may picture or nandun ka mismo sa lugar or alam mo na yung sasakyan ng kasama mo ay motociklo talaga, yun ang makaka-identify na masculine. Okay. So in this case, motocikleta, feminine. Okay? So, tama yung kanina, la radyo, la moto, la photo. Okay. So, anong yung radyo naman? La radyo. Hindi kaya yung yan? Aparato, yung equipment, yung radio. Or hindi. I think this is X-ray. Check nyo nga yung X-ray. La radiografía, di ba? La radiografía. Pero you can check also kung yung radio, yung parang televisore, kung la din yun, ba? La. Okay, so yun ang feminine. In this case, meron na tayong ilang exceptions, 3 exception sa ending ito pa. Okay. So, 3 other exceptions. Sige nga, pakibasa nito mga words na ito. Ilagay nyo na yung definite article. Go. Take note ha, yung mga word na merong na nag-umpisa sa vowel.
L'autobus. Il taxi. Il taxi. Il taxi. Il
Yeah, basa lang.
il film. Il bar. La stazione. La trice. La petrice.
Sige, Senyor Navera.
L'autobus.
Sige.
Il taxi. Or taxi.
Taxi, il taxi.
Il taxi. Il film. Il port. Il bar. La stazione. La dichiarazione.
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 La trice.
La lettrice.
Mhm.
Petrice. La petrice.
La città.
La città. La università. La virtù.
Okay, pakiulit nga itong mga yung mga nouns na nag-umpisa sa vowel.
Yung latrice po.
Mhm.
Tapos l'università.
Okay, tapos yung isa pa doon sa kabila.
L'autobus.
Okay, so huwag kalimutan yun ha. Okay, o Senyor Christian, tama naman. Meron tayong may issue tayo dito sa sport, ba? Meron tayong issue sa sport. Okay, ito another exception ito sa definite article singular. Okay, definite article singular. Masculine siya, di ba? Masculine. Mamaya ko na paliwanag kung bakit masculine ito at saka ito. Yung meron tayong tinatawag na esse impura sa Italian. Okay, esse impura. Kung sa English, impure S. Okay? Impure S. Bakit impure S? Yung sound ng S, may halong ibang sound. In this case, P. So, sport. Di ba? Sport. So, kapag ganun, masculine, ang article dyan, definite article, singular, ay law. Okay? Law sport. So dito sa grupong ito ng examples, gamit na lahat ng tatlong definite articles masculine. Una, il taxi or il tasi. Il film, il bar. Il. Tapos kapag vowel naman yung umpisa, tulad din dito, l'autobus. L apostrophe. At yung pangatlong definite article, lo sport. Kapag S impura. I hope that's clear. Okay? Sa feminine, dalawa lang ang definite article singular. Yung general na la at saka yung dito rin sa vowel, L apostrophe. Okay? L apostrophe. So, another table yan na pwede nyong gawin. Diba? Definite articles. Il, L apostrophe, lo. Singular masculine. Sa feminine, la, L apostrophe. Singular. Sa plural, okay, mamaya na yan. Pero, balik tayo sa issue. Bakit exception itong letter D, letter E, at saka letter F? Hindi sila letter O ang ending, pero masculine. Hindi sa letter A ang ending, pero feminine. Ito are, obviously, di ba? Borrowed words, English words, di ba? So kapag borrowed siya, automatic yan. Masculine. Tulad din noong mga ma na Greek, di ba? Yun. Kapag pinoplural sila, they remain the same. Okay, films ngayon, di ba? Maraming film, maraming bar. Bar pa rin sila. So, paano mo ma-identify kung plural? By the tawag dyan? Article. Yung article nagbabago kapag plural na. Okay? So, yun. Borrowed English words are masculine. And dito naman, okay, all words ending in ione. Ione. Marami tayong English words na T-I-O-N. Siya yung equivalent ng T-I-O-N na ending ione. Okay, feminine din siya. At saka yung iche. Okay? Iche. And yung accented last syllable, feminine siya. Okay? So, yun. So, to recap, you can identify the gender of any given Italian word or noun by the meaning itself, by the words ending in ma, usually Greek words or of Greek origin are masculine. Words ending in o that are in their truncated form are feminine, except yung na ano kanina ni Senyor Navarro. Okay. Most of them are feminine. Borrowed or foreign words are always masculine and singular in form. Okay, so walang plural. Tapos, yung ione, words ending in ione, and iche are feminine. Words with accented vowels a and u in the last syllables are feminine and retains also their singular form. Tulad din dito sa borrowed. So, chita is city, yung cities, chita pa rin. Pero nagbabago na yung plural article niya. Naging ng le. Okay? Yung plural article ng feminine definite article, le. It both applies to L apostrophe and la. Okay? L apostrophe singular, la singular din. Yung plural niya ay le. So, la chita, le chita. La virtu, the virtue, the virtues, le virtu. L'università, the university, tapos plural, universities, le. Yan, le università. Dito sa masculine, marami din ditong ilan ba sa masculine yung plural? Dalawa ang masculine plural na definite article. Yung e, letter I, at saka li, G-L-I, li. Okay? Balikan natin. Okay. So, l'autobus, lo sport, ang plural nila ay gli autobus, G-L-I, gli autobus. Tapos plural din ng sports, gli sport. Pareho sila G-L-I. Okay? So, yung plural ng L apostrophe at saka L-O, G-L-I siya, G-L-I. Pero yung il taxi, il film, il bar, ang plural niya ay i. So, i. I-bar, i-film, i-taxi. Taxis, films, bars. Autobuses, i-autobus. Sports, i-sport. Okay? Feminine, la, stazione. Okay. Dito babago kayo. Magiging ay yung ending. So, la stazione, le stazioni. La dichiarazione, le dichiarazioni. L'attrice, ito, le, attrici. Okay? So, yun. I to E to I. La Petrice, le Petrici. La città, le città. L'università, le università. La virtù, le virtù. Okay? Okay? So, alam nyo na yung mga plural ng definite articles. Okay? Okay, ganun lang yun. Okay. Another way of summarizing the determiners ng gender ay yung ending. So, ito yung mga ending sa singular masculine. Ito rin yung mga ending sa singular feminine. Okay? I will just, I will just upload this. Okay? So, yung plural nila, wala pa. Okay. So, ito yung sinasabi kong last resort sa pag-alam kung ano yung gender ng noun. Sa dictionary yan, mayroong masculine noun or as simple as letter F or letter M. Yan yung gender. Okay? Dapat last resort na yan. Okay? Last resort. Kasi you have to know it by heart. Okay, sa plurale, ito na yung pag-transform ng plurale. Sa ending, sa ending. Kanina alam nyo na yung plural sa definite article. Okay? Okay, so yan. A to E, E to I, okay? E to I, tulad din sa itaas. E to I, unchanged. Unchanged. Okay, anyway, ano pa lang ito? General pa lang ito. Just introducing you to the concepts. So, okay, nakopya na ito? 3 o'clock na. Okay. Alam niyo ito, hindi ba? Change lang. Kasi nag-practice na tayo nito doon sa question and answer, hindi ba? Okay. Ito. Yung plural nitong sa ibaba. Sige nga, plural. Anyone? Just change to I, di ba? Change to I lang ito. Dito sa truncated form, kung truncated form, ganun pa rin, hindi nyo babaguhin. Pero kung untruncated, babaguhin nyo ito. Sige, nalagyan nyo na ng definite article. Go. Shall I call? Or
Madri, attrice, attrici, chiave, chiavi.
andyan ba si Signorina Clemente?
Problema, problemi.
Signorina Clemente.
Foto, foti.
Lalagyan ng definite article, tapos babasahin. And plural form.
Attrice, attrici.
So ito si Signorina Ebuenga. Sorry, Ebriega pala yung middle name ni Mayor Rosal, hindi Ebuenga. Okay. Signorina Ebuenga, wala. Senior Furing, are you there? She say too. Are you there? Non c'è il signor Furing. Kapag non c'è, non non c'è il signor Furing, signorina Buenga, signorina Clemente, signorina Bornel. Okay na lang. Sige. Kayo na lang gawa niyan ha. Malabas na lang yan sa exam. O, sige. So, okay. Bahala na kayo ng susunod. Ayan na. Okay, tapos na. So, I think, Senyorina Venezuela, kumusta? Kayo magre-report? Okay.
Yes po, sir.
Okay. So, since I have no capacity to record this one, maganda sanang naka-record, ano? I-upload nyo na lang. I-upload nyo pagkatapos ng report sa stream, ha? Okay. So, yung, na-estimate nyo ba yung total running time? Pasok pa sa 15 minutes, senyorina?
Medyo mahaba po, sir, ng konti.
Konti lang, ha? Konti. Okay, o sige. Since this is the first, teka, saglit lang. Okay. Sige. Consideration, bigyan natin ng consideration. Pero yung mga next groups, please stick sa 15 minutes. Okay. Kaya nyo yan, 15 minutes. O, take it away. Yung magbo-voice, kung merong magbo-voice na live, mag-on cam na lang. Go.
Buon pomeriggio, sono Carla. This afternoon, our group will take you to Italy. But before we head off to Italy, I need to check first your Italian. So we actually prepared a simple game for that, and the mechanics is very simple. You just need to guess the Italian word of the picture that will appear on the screen. To answer, please just click the raise hand button. And of course, what are games without prizes? So, those who will get the correct answer will receive a small reward afterwards. Let me share my presentation first. Is the presentation visible po? Yes, is it visible?
Yes
Okay.
po.
Thanks. So, are you guys ready? It's very easy. Okay, so let's start with our first item. What is grapes in Italian? Is it A, uvas, B, lerisat, C, uva? Sino po yung naunang mag-recite?
Leonard.
Hello po. Letter C po, uva.
Okay, correct. Let's move on to our next item. What is 7 in Italian? A, sette, B, sette, C, siete.
Dear son. Sette.
Okay. Next, what is bear in Italian? A, urso, B, orso, C, oso.
Jean,
Orso.
Come again? Ano po yung sagot mo?
Orso.
Letter?
A.
Try again. Is it A, urso, B, orso, C, oso?
Yung orso, yung letter O. B.
Okay. Our next item is lion. What is it in Italian? A, leone, B, leon, C, liao.
Sami.
A. Leone.
Okay. Next. What is monkey in Italian? A, macaco, B, mono, C, scimmia.
C. Chimia.
Jean.
Samantha.
Letter C. Scimmia.
Correct. Next. What is color white in Italian? A, bianco, B, blanco, C, branco.
Bianco.
Justin.
Bianco po.
Bianco. Okay. And for our last item, what is black in Italian? A, preto, B, nuo, C, nero. Eddie Marie.
Nero.
Okay. So that's the last item in our games. Thank you so much for participating. I think you're now ready to go to Italy. So please enjoy and learn more as we go along our presentation. Thank you so much. Wala pong audio team.
Buon pomeriggio, may compagni studenti di lingua italiana. I am Roland Dominic Solano, and for the first part of this presentation, we will be discussing the history of Italy and in relation to its geography. The Italian nation's history is a storied one, rich and diverse in culture and historical events that even now reverberates throughout the centuries and continues to affect the world that we live in today. Its history is a very turbulent but glorious one, as do all the great nations of the world. The birth of Italy helped usher in a new era of progress in the fields of politics, law, art, and the sciences, architecture, and warfare. It even produced one of the greatest empires in human history and civilization, as well as leaders, emperors, thinkers, philosophers, legionnaires, engineers, and architects the world has ever seen, and made such a resounding impact on Western civilization and ultimately the modern world as we know it. Here, we give a brief but concise and meaningful historical timeline of Italia.
Arrival of the first hominins was 850 years ago at Monte Poggiolo. The presence of the Homo neanderthalensis has been demonstrated in archaeological findings near Rome and Verona, dating to 50,000 years ago or to the late Pleistocene. Remains of the later prehistoric age have been found in Lombardy and in Sardinia. The most famous is perhaps of Otzi the Iceman, the mummy of a mountain hunter found on the Simalone Glacier in South Tyrol, dating to 3,400 to 3,100 BC or the Copper Age. Italy's first societies emerged around 1200 BC Around 800 BC, Etruscans arose in northern and central Italy. In the 6th century BC, the Etruscans had created a group of states called Etruria. Meanwhile, Latin and Sabine people south of Etruria merged to form a strong city-state called Rome. In the region south of the river Tiber, the Latial culture of the Latins emerged. By the mid-first millennium, the Latins of Rome were growing in power and influence. After the Latins had liberated themselves after Etruscan rule, he acquired a dominant position among the Italic tribes. The Latins eventually succeeded in unifying the Italic elements in the country. This conflict is called the Social War. After Roman victory was secured, all peoples in Italy were granted Roman citizenship. In the subsequent centuries, Italic tribes adopted Latin language and culture in a process known as Romanization. Italy's location on the Mediterranean linked it with the trade routes of the ancient civilizations that developed in the region. The city of Rome's rise to power, the Italian peninsula became the center of a huge empire that lasted for centuries. According to Roman mythology, the legendary founding of the city and kingdom of Rome was attributed to the twin brothers Romulus and Remus as sons of Mars, or the Roman god of war. They were abandoned near the river Tiber, where the city of Rome would eventually stand by their stepfather. They were raised by Lupa, the she-wolf goddess and patron of Rome. Since ancient times, the image of the she-wolf suckling the twins has been a symbol of the city and by the ancient Romans. With the killing of his twin brother, Romulus went on to found the city of Rome, its institutions, government, military, and religious traditions. In the 3rd century BC, Rome had to face a new and formidable opponent, the powerful Phoenician city-state of Carthage. In the three Punic Wars, Carthage was eventually destroyed and Rome gained control over Hispania, Sicily, and North Africa, where the Romans became the dominant people of the Mediterranean Sea, or as they dubbed it as the Mare Nostrum, or Our Sea. In the mid-1st century BC, the Republic faced a period of political crisis and social unrest. Into this turbulent scenario emerged the figure of Julius Caesar. Caesar formed the first triumvirate, composed of Marcus Licinius Crassus, his sponsor, and Crassus' rival, Pompey. In 53 BC, it disintegrated at Crassus' death. In 49 BC, Caesar crossed the Rubicon River and invaded Rome, rapidly defeating Pompey. Julius Caesar eventually became dictator of Rome for perpetuity. He was eventually assassinated in 44 BC in the Ides of March. The first sole emperor of Rome, Octavian, took power in 57 BC and took the name Augustus Caesar. His leadership brought the zenith of Roman civilization that lasted for 4 decades, marking the beginning of the Roman Empire. Augustus' enlightened rule resulted in a 200 years long peaceful and thriving era for the empire, known as Pax Romana. For more than 400 years, the empire flourished. But by the 4th century AD, it was in decline. After the death of Emperor Theodosius I in 395 AD, the empire was divided and split into an Eastern and Western Roman Empire. Italy was the main center of the Renaissance, whose flourishing of the arts, architecture, literature, science, historiography, and political theory influenced all of Europe. And the Italian Renaissance peaked in the 16th century and began in Tuscany, centered in the city of Florence. It then spread south, having an especially significant impact on Rome, which was largely rebuilt by the Renaissance popes. Risorgimento was the political and social process that unified different states of the Italian peninsula into the single nation of Italy. Unification and independence movements throughout Italy developed ever stronger voices in the 19th century. It was the result of concentrated efforts by Italian nationalists and monarchists to establish a united kingdom encompassing the entire Italian peninsula. Two prominent radical figures in the unification movement were Giuseppe Mazzini and Giuseppe Garibaldi. The more conservative constitutional monarchy figures included Victor Emmanuel II, who would later become the first king of a united Italy via a liberal revolution. Italy entered into the First World War in 1950 with the aim of completing national unity. For this reason, the Italian intervention in the First World War is also considered the Fourth Italian War of Independence. Italy took the initiative in entering the war in spring 1915, despite strong popular and elite sentiment in favor of neutrality. The Italian victory marked the end of the war on the Italian front, secured the dissolution of the Austro-Hungarian Empire, and was chiefly instrumental in ending the First World War less than 2 weeks later. The Italian fascist movement, or the Fasci di Combattimento, or the National Fascist Party, was founded and rose to power on the 23rd of March 1919 by Benito Mussolini. Mussolini's foreign policy aimed to restore the ancient grandeur of the Roman Empire by expanding Italian colonial possessions and the fascist sphere of influence. His people called him Il Duce. He ruled as the dictator of fascist Italy and entered World War II on the side of Axis powers, namely Nazi Germany and Imperial Japan. By 1943, Allied invasion by the combined strength of the forces of the British and the Americans went underway on the island of Sicily in southern Italy, and went on to push towards mainland Europe. Seeing the war was lost, the Italian people, having suffered and lost so much under fascism and terrible war, captured Benito Mussolini with the help of Italian communist partisans and summarily executed by the firing squad on the 28th of April 1945 near Lake Como.
Now, let us know some of the do's and don'ts in Italia and their cultures and traditions. Say perhaps you're in Italy. Of course, you would need to speak some Italian language. Just the basics is okay. For example, when greeting someone in Italy, do not try to say ciao when first meeting someone. Many of us know the meaning of the word, which is hello or hi. But this is the informal version. You should say buongiorno, good morning, buon pomeriggio, good afternoon, or buonasera, good evening. Ciao is reserved for greeting acquaintances and friends. Italians love it when you at least try to converse with them, even if it is obvious that you only know the basics. Do not break your spaghetti and other long pasta. Non in Italia, where spaghetti is eaten more than anywhere else in the world. The pasta etiquette is a real thing, although pasta is invented in China, and the popular legend claims Marco Polo introduced pasta to Italy. However, Italians won't admit that just to anyone. What you should do is to wrap around the pasta on your fork long enough to both stick and entangle in a way that it does not fall off or the sauce drips from it. That is how long the pasta is supposed to be eaten. Cutting or breaking the pasta is one of the most horrible things for an Italian to witness. Horrible. And adding meatballs in spaghetti is a no. They can't stand it. Impazziscono. They go crazy. The reason for this method is that you must respect the essence of spaghetti. Senza i spaghetti. Do not ever ask an Italian to share his or her pizza. When ordering a pizza, it may look big to you, but it's actually for one person only. Sharing pizza is inconceivable. Inconcepibile. Asking an Italian to share a pizza is like asking an English person to share a beer. This causes them extreme suffering. Because having a pizza and eating all of it, having a goal, and reaching the end of this goal. Cutting off the finish line causes incredible suffering. Sofferenza incredibile. Also, do not order unusual toppings on your pizza like pineapple, ananas, or ketchup. They will think you are insane. In Italia, lunch or il pranzo is served and eaten at 12:30 p.m. to 2:30 p.m. There is a term called controra, which refers to the pause of the afternoon, which starts at 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. It is like the Spanish siesta, where the place looks like a ghost town. All the stores are shut except for the chain supermarkets. Some people go to lunch and do not leave until 4 or 5 p.m. in the evening. And at night, the town people are popping around out there socializing. But during this pandemic, there is a curfew at 10 p.m. This happens in the south of Italy and not as much in the north. Lastly, Italians speak with directness. For example, when you bump into them, they will respond as if their voice may sound as if they are mad at you, but they are not. That is just how they speak. The tone and sound may be interpreted differently by others, especially tourists. This can be referred to as un modo di parlare più forte, which translates to a stronger way of speaking. Now, don't forget, keep those in mind. But wait, where do you wish to go in Italy?
There is so much to see that it would take a lifetime to explore. So for now, let me take you on a virtual tour and together we traverse the breathtaking sceneries Italy has to offer. First, we will head up to the northern Italy to visit the Dolomites and Seccheda, a stunning region of green grass slopes and rugged mountain peaks.